Today, I want to talk about what matters now. And right now, what matters is there's no one here to talk to. So now, thank you for joining Lynn and Siobhan. You are two of my annual members, and I'm so happy to have you here. And my topic is what matters now. And if you are someplace where you can write in the message, let me know what matters now to you because I'm curious. Because what matters now depends on your situation, how you're feeling, your health, where you're living, how much you read or don't read the news, if you're in a relationship that's supportive, and your frame of mind. Are you right now? When I say what matters now, does your mind go to what matters right now in this moment where I'm sitting? In that case, what matters right now to me is that I got here on time. What matters now after I leave is my continuing quest for clients and opportunities to share my experience and knowledge and information and be remunerated, as they say, or compensated. And you are two people who have done that by being Substack subscribers. And I'm always curious and always asking, what do you want more of? Otherwise, you get whatever is mattering to me now. And today I'm going to share a little information, some places that I'm involved with or checked out. There is a feminist group here. It's called, what is she called? Earth Feminism, Dark Feminine Codes. That's what her Substack is, Dark Feminine Codes. And she provides some interesting articles about using our female power to manifest money. But what I liked about the article I read is she talked about the power of women, the spiritual power of women that was known and practiced before the male gods took over. And that's a whole nother subject. But I always like to hear and read about the female gods because they were around in the very beginnings. In fact, there's some traditional and indigenous religions and cultures in which the creator, which is becomes a creator because of the love the creator feels for the vastness and limitlessness of being, which is what the creator is. Whether you call him God or Amma or Allah or Jehovah, and even those who spread the word, we're trying to create and are trying to create that sense of peace and ease that exists when you can relax into the reality that we are all creators, that we all share in this vast energetic sphere of life. But it's interesting to me as I understand spirituality, but the material challenges always remain. And I'm happy that I'm taking a class now in Buddhism, which helps me to navigate the contradictions of living a spiritual life and making a material living. But it's all about how we look at life, how we consider materialism, how we look at work. And that's been my major challenge. And because I believe in karma, because I believe in the influence of our ancestors, I know that this time I'm dealing with something that I've carried around a long time, and it's now getting released. And we all have these things in our lives that kind of follow us year after year after year. We seem kind of stuck. And it sometimes takes a bit of work to get unstuck. The first thing is recognizing that we are stuck and then acknowledging it, accepting it, and then saying, what can I do to get unstuck? The first thing we can do is let's look at how we're thinking about why we're stuck, what we're stuck in, and why is it stuck. And then sometimes we just are too lazy to do all that deep thinking. I know I am. I know part of the reason I struggle with materialism is my laziness. Not so much a laziness to do creative work or even to work in a job where I feel like I'm helping people, but the laziness to get into an understanding of how money works in the world and how I should attract what I really want. And so I'm still alive. I keep saying I'm here for a reason. And I take every day as a reason to learn more, to do better in my life, to purify any negative actions in my past and in my present so that I can continue to move forward. I do believe that consciousness always was and always will be because we are energy. So I think about death every day as a Buddhist because you never know when it will happen. And it makes me wonder why some people act the way they do because they act as if they will never die. And everybody dies. All of the great religious leaders, all of the political leaders, all of the wealthy people. And why would anyone want to live forever? Even Jesus, even God, even the gods of all the gods and all creation. They keep walking around physically on this earth because material will always be challenging because anything that is made can break down, wear out, get old, and eventually it dies. And that's whether it's a human body or your computer or your car or your washing machine. But some of us have grown up and lived in a world in which we thought that everything's automatic, nothing dies, or at least it can get fixed so we could buy a new one. But that's not true. And it was finding out that truth that life was not a bed of roses that led Shakyamuni to go on a quest to understand why it is that we get sick, get old, die. And his quest is the same quest that most people have, most societies and cultures, and we all deal with it in different ways. Some people deal with it in religions. In fact, large segments of cultures have religions which contribute to the cultures. And most religions share in common the goal of people living together in comfort, in community, supporting each other, and loving each other. And yes, almost all religions have an opposite of happiness, living together, loving each other, because that is life. There's an up and there's a down. In the material world, that is life, the life of duality, because it's physical. We are material. We think we're solid, but quantum physics says we're not really even solid. And all of this is to talk about what matters now depends on what now we're talking about. What matters now in this moment to me is trying to communicate to those who are present and those who will come and listen longer. My now afterwards will be continuing to explore opportunities and to write. My now for the next few months is promoting positive people working to improve our political situation, continuing to study and expand my practice of Buddhism, continuing to manifest money, means, and messages. So, all I ask of you is that anytime you have any ideas or subjects or things you want to talk about, you can always message in the chat. You can always email me or message me on Substack. And please, if you enjoy these lives, if you enjoy my writings, if you know anyone who'd be interested, share the links. And you weren't here last week when I talked about the Luminous Elder Path, but that's in the last live. And as and once I get people who start to sign up for the Luminous Elder Path, then I will start that. As actually, if you two want to do that, anytime anyone wants to begin having sessions for the Luminous Elder Path, let me know. When we can get up to 5 people, then we'll start having sessions. Until that time, I'm wishing you have a lovely ending of the week. And I know you're remembering to breathe deeply, to smile, and be grateful. Thank you for listening.